Buckle up, and here we go. We found another city girl mayor, but this one's in Texas.
Thank you, Mayor. Well, I'm not an attorney, nor do I pretend to be one, but I do want to read directly from whitehouse.gov regarding free speech and the First Amendment, since we're talking about this here today. And there's a statement here that keeps ringing true as we're hearing all these comments. It says the categories of unprotected speech include obscenities, defamatory speech, false advertisements, true threats, fighting words, incitement, fraud, and the list goes on and on. So again, I want to reiterate that for the public is look up what free speech means as you're hearing these comments.
Do I need to get your attention like that job you had before politics? Yeah, that secret's coming out soon.
When somebody's up here during public comments, interrupt them. Read Chapter 551 of the Government Code.
It's a one-way argument with you all the time.
We are doing citizen comments in this format. Are we permitting our citizens to make allegations and attacks directly to the council?
Is it supposed to be a personal attack on an individual person, or should they be talking about a specific?
Yes, ma'am, you said it perfectly.
I think that's addressing the decorum issue. Personal attacks are something I don't think that should be happening generally. I don't think that's something that's up for discussion as far as how they personally feel about a person's personality or things. But if there's something that's city business that someone has done that they're addressing, ultimately that would be something that the council could vote on and decide what rules that could be followed in the future.
I didn't put on there. Y'all did. My city council put this on there to take away my right as an American to speak.
CJ Grisham? Yeah, I filled it out.
I'm sorry. Okay. Sir, I cannot hear your comments at this time because it has to be from residents only.
Yeah, that's against the law, so I'd like to speak for my 3 minutes.
Sir.
I've gotten threats. I've gotten surveillance of my home, all because I oppose certain things. Stop spending money.
Why do you folks have to travel here, there, and everywhere?
Oh, look at that. Now you're going to run away and hide.
Sir.
Yeah, I've got 3 minutes, so I can say whatever I want for my 3 minutes because I'm a member of the public.
I've got 45 minutes of audio of the mayor in KDH's office, in the editor's office, colluding.
Mr. Fornino.
This is my time, Madam Mayor.
Mr. Fornino.
This is on the agenda, and why you want to take away
Fornino,
my right to speak.
It is citizen comments. Stay focused, please.
Because it makes you uncomfortable, because we don't agree with you, Madam Mayor, because you disrespect by not even acknowledging somebody sitting up here talking to you.
So instead of just sucking up the 5 or 6 people who disagree with you, you're going to shut everyone up just to silence those 5 or 6 people. That's a discriminatory purpose.
I wouldn't let you lead 2 dogs mating. And that's the polite way of putting it.
What's going on? It's Soloyaker here, and I got to give a huge shout out to C.J. Grisham Esquire. He was founder of Open Carry Texas. He's a good friend of mine. I've actually hung out with him, open carried here in Florida, but he is now a lawyer in Texas, and he went to this place that is no different than Dalton, Village of Dalton. And I do want you to pay attention to who is up on this council members. That's why I say it's a little bit like Dalton, and this mayor does the same things that they're doing in Dalton. But look, this video is a little long, and stick with me to all the way to the end, because this is just the first video. I've got more of these coming, because the stuff that they did is crazy.
I was one of just a few of the people who bothered to watch the propaganda piece put out by the mayor with Killeen Daily Herald on YouTube. And once again, do I need to get your attention like that job you had before politics, Madam Mayor? Yeah, that secret's coming out soon. Say, oh, how wonderful you are. Done great jobs. Okay, if you're doing such a great job, it's funny, nobody can ever seem to quantify what those great jobs are. Oh, you're doing great. You're doing fine. What's the job? I don't see anything. Keep praising downtown. It's been revitalized. Saturday afternoon last weekend, I could have used the parking places as a second lane of traffic. You spend a lot of money on travel, go here, there, and everywhere. Why aren't we the host city? You show them the Armored Warfare Museum, show them the Arts Center, go for steaks and beer at the Shiloh Inn. Why aren't people coming here? Why do you folks have to travel here, there, and everywhere? It's a one-way argument with you all the time. You're asking for respect? I mean, what are you doing up there? Writing your memoirs? Hello? I mean, this strange relationship that you have with the Killeen Daily Herald. Okay, you talk about transparency. Lead by example. What is this example in front of me? I wouldn't let you lead two dogs mating. And that's the polite way of putting it. I mean, when it comes to your accomplishments, okay, on transparency, I have a request in for public records on all the emails between you and the Killeen Daily Herald, Madam Mayor. And it's funny, I still get received yours in service. That's the most to a 5-page email. That's the best you could muster. Yet, since 1 October 2018, 1,802 emails back and forth between yourself and the Killeen Daily Herald. You want transparency? How about you waive the $750 fee you want me to see? Because you're concerned, the city is concerned, that some confidential information might be in there. They've got to comb through it. What information would you be sharing with the press that not supposed to be shared, that they have a concern for? Drop the fee, let's see what you got. Can't even make eye contact with me. And I'm supposed to believe that you're a leader? Lead by example? Lead from the front? Okay? I can quantify your failures. Nobody can quantify your successes. Time and time again, you treat everything as a campaign stop, a lightly veiled campaign spot from the Herald, a one-way conversation on a podcast or a radio station. You're not a leader. You're a scared little girl that lost control of her little tea party. We're not stuffed animals.
Point of order. I actually have a question for the mayor. For our
Yes,
attorney.
sir.
I have a question for the attorney. I just want clarity as a city councilman sitting on this dais from legal. When we are doing citizen comments in this format, are we permitting our citizens to make allegations and attacks directly to the council?
Your question. Is it supposed to be a personal attack on an individual person, or should they be talking about a specific?
Yes, ma'am, you said it perfectly.
I think that's addressing the decorum issue. Personal attacks are something I don't think that should be happening generally. I don't think that's something that's up for discussion as far as how they personally feel about a person's personality or things. But if there's something that's city business that someone has done that they're addressing, ultimately that would be something that the council could vote on and decide what rules that could be followed in the future as
Sure.
well.
And I wanted to ask you, the attorney, that question because, I'm all for freedom of speech. I just believe that it's important it remains productive. And so thank you for answering my question.
It's a portion in which we allow our citizens to come in and to speak. We thank you for your comments tonight.
I filled out a form, madam. Yeah. CJ Grisham? Yeah, I filled it out.
I'm sorry. Okay. Sir, I cannot hear your comments at this time because it has to be from residents only.
Yeah, that's against the law, so I'd like to speak for my 3 minutes.
Sir.
You're violating Chapter 551 of the Government Code of the Open Meetings Act.
I'm doing what
I am a member of the public. I signed up to speak like everybody else. I am a member of the public. You have no authority to stop me from speaking.
also.
None whatsoever.
I'm sorry, sir, but I have to.
I know you're sorry. This whole council is sorry because nobody's standing up for this.
Okay.
You have no authority to keep me from speaking, and I'm going to speak, and you're going to hear me about your tyranny. Oh, look at that. Now you're going to run away and hide.
Sir,
Yeah. I've got 3 minutes, so I can say whatever I want for my 3 minutes because I'm a member of the public. Fucking tyrants. I can say whatever I want, these fucking tyrants. Every single one of you. I will see you in the courts.
Got another customer.
70-30 split sounds good?
Yep. You just screwed with the wrong guy now. You can shut up your own citizens, but you're not shutting me up.
That's obvious.
Yep, it is. I fought 21 years in 2 wars to protect the First Amendment, while you cowards sit up there and lord over us. All right, guys. I will see y'all later. Oh. Y'all need to get some attorney opinions about this policy before you get yourself losing a lot more citizen money in litigation. There's already case law on this issue. They didn't want to hear your opinion. That's the problem.
Mayor, Ms. Pro Tem, please understand that the way that you were addressing this, the people out here when they finished, I took it very condescending.
It is. It was very condescending.
The way that you addressed people when they were done speaking.
They removed my form.
I'm just telling you, every single time you said something to somebody that was leaving this podium, you were very condescending in your.
I gave your city attorney the case law on this issue. I gave your city attorney the case law on this issue. You're violating my rights.
Thanks for standing up for the First Amendment, brother.
Always. Always, every day, twice on Sunday.
Citizens' comments. You're considering taking that away from us. Why? For non-agenda items. Well, nothing that, here we go again. Everybody's looking around, shuffling papers. It's exactly what I'm talking about, and you get upset every time I bring it up. Madam Mayor, you don't even have the common courtesy. You want it and you demand it, and you don't give it. So, you want to take away our right to speak about non-agenda items because we can't get anything on the agenda. You don't listen to us. You've outright stated in the paper that you're in cahoots with. And before you say the paper has nothing to do with it, I've got 45 minutes of audio of the mayor in KDH's office, in the editor's office, colluding.
Mr. Fornino.
This is my time, Madam Mayor.
Mr. Fornino.
This is on the agenda. And why you want to take away
Fornino,
my right to speak?
It is citizen comments. Stay focused, please.
The gentleman behind me seems to have some rude remarks. Where was his warning? Why is he not removed? Okay, I keep telling you, I'm ugly. I'm not stupid. Right? You want to take away my right to speak about non-agenda items because we bring up the uncomfortable things. You say you represent us, but we can't get our items on the agenda. You won't meet with us in person. How many times have I stood right here and said, we can go in that little conference room over there. We can have an honest, intellectual, adult back and forth. You refuse to do it. The paper, in support of the mayor, has taken down ability to comment on their articles. And don't tell me that that's not by design. You take down the mayor's official Facebook page, destruction of public records, so we can't get to you that way. You don't answer emails, but as Mayor Pro Tem, who's not here, said, you all stand together. One of you does something, you all stand together. Okay? Prior to Christmas, okay, you want to take away my right to speak because I sent audio to all of you in every organization that most of you belong to. Okay? We're at the 25-40 mark of that 45 minutes. Mayor, non sequitur, for no reason whatsoever, starts making racist comments, how she has a whole racial tier system as to who she wants to deal with
Mr.
based
Fornino,
on skin color.
how does that
That's why you want to take away my right.
Mr. Fernino, how does that have to do with the agenda, non-agenda item?
Because that's why you want to take away my right to speak.
Please stick to the
I
non-agenda
am, just like when we
item.
were talking about the budget, how somehow the city manager's salary was not on the budget. Madam Mayor, if you can't follow along and string ideas together, I don't have time to tutor you. And you can't afford me. I
Point of order.
guarantee you that.
Point of order. If I'm not mistaken, we're not supposed to be
We're not supposed to be
humiliating or
attacking.
criticizing or attacking fellow
Mr.
council members.
Fernino, please stay
No,
on
this is,
the
this is the
item.
agenda. This is exactly why the agenda. This
It
is
is
why you
non-agenda
don't want
item.
us speaking. You interrupt. Okay, that 45 minutes of audio, you kept interrupting the person who was trying to counter against you in
Mr.
that cute little
Fernino,
meeting you were having.
the removal of non-agenda comments, that is what's on the agenda
And
to
that's
be
why you want to do
discussed.
it. You want to prevent us from having our First Amendment rights, period. You are trying to silence opposition. You take away our ability to reach you, to comment to you. Yet you're open, you're transparent, you're accountable. In the mood I'm in right now, I can't muster laughter. I'm sorry, what's going on in the back of the room, Madam Mayor? You keep asking me for respect. You ask us for respect. And here we have it. I hope the TV cameras are catching this one. Because for once, the camera's not only on me. Time after time after time. You won't sit down with us. You will not meet with us. You ignore us. And then you expect us to act like you just took a dump in our hats and we're supposed to say it fits better? I don't think so. You don't like what I have to say? I don't care. I have the right to say it. So does everybody else who gets up here. They have that right, whether I agree with them or disagree with them. That is a God-given right. For all of you holy rollers in this room who want to cling to religion, our rights come from God, not from you. So knock it off. Don't play with the Constitution. By the end of this year, I guarantee you, this city is going to be sued by the federal government, the state, and its citizens. That's going to be your legacy.
Councilmember Board,
Thank you, Madam Mayor. To our citizens, I do not want you to get the impression that each and every one of your council members are not interested or will not respond to you. That I do not believe is the case. I have citizens that reach out to me through Facebook, text message, email, some even mail me letters, and I will respond to them. Most of the time it's within 72 hours. So I can't say that that's the case for every council member up here. Thank you.
thank you, Councilmember Board. Anyone else would like to speak, council?
City Council, Mayor, and those in this room, and my fellow Americans. Today I come up and I want to speak on an agenda item that I didn't put on there, y'all did. My city council put this on there to take away my right as an American to speak. I've come up here on several occasions and I've asked for etiquette. I've asked for respect. I've asked for consideration. I've asked for thoughtful debate. And I've gotten racism. I've gotten hate. I've gotten threats. I've gotten surveillance of my home. All because I oppose certain things. Stop spending money. My country is $91 trillion in debt. Stop spending money. So that's my statement. But then I come up here and I don't have the ability to speak about it? You want to take away anybody's voice because it makes you uncomfortable? Because we don't agree with you, Madam Mayor? Because you disrespect by not even acknowledging somebody sitting up here talking to you? You want to play with everything else up there? That's why I wish there was a
Mr.
split screen
Price.
up here. I wish there was a split screen up here so that way anybody online can see you and how you disrespect those that are up here when we were speaking on these items. They're right here. I've heard that audio myself.
Mr. Price, if it's not about.
And it's pissed me
on
off
the
because it's me
non-agenda
not being
item,
able to sit here and
that is
speak
your
on
first
RS
warning
24001. Okay?
Mr.
RS.
Price, if it's not on the non-consent
I am
agenda.
speaking to RS
Well, stick to it.
24001, am I not? So if I'm speaking to this right here, okay, then I'm on the agenda item. Get it?
Yes.
The collusion that you have with the newspaper, as well as the communist actions that you are
Price,
prevailing here in this, in these agenda
That is
items.
not a non-consent agenda item. That was never on the agenda, and that's not up for discussion.
This
So
discussion item right
please
here,
stay with the
DS
non-consent
2401 is
agenda.
not what we're talking about?
No, sir. It's the non-consent agenda item. This is a special meeting.
Okay. Sure, right? Well, it still doesn't change my opinion that my city council's racist.
Thank you. Melissa
Yes,
Brown, you have 4 minutes.
Yeah, I caught you.
Trying to figure out which of our constitutional rights any of you respect. You're taking away these citizen comments because you don't want us talking about conversations at a newspaper. You don't want us holding you accountable for things that you've done outside of these chambers. Are you able to remove citizen comments? Yes. What you're not allowed to do is do so for a discriminatory purpose. So even if you do something legal, even if you do something that on its face doesn't appear to be discriminatory, if you do it for a discriminatory purpose, it's illegal. You're not taking away these public comments because you're a tyrant, Mayor, and people are calling you a tyrant. You're a tyrant, City Manager Cagle, and you don't want people to tell you that you're a tyrant. I get it. You got weak skins. You're cowards. You can't face the people that you represent. And by getting rid of these citizen comments, you don't have to sit here and listen to that. Like every other city that has no problem listening to citizens coming up there and saying what a bad job their city council's doing. But this city council has a problem with that. For some reason, you just can't stomach the fact that you suck at what you do and that the people don't like it. So instead of just sucking up the 5 or 6 people who disagree with you, you're going to shut everyone up just to silence those 5 or 6 people. That's a discriminatory purpose. You cannot discriminate based on the content of someone's speech. You can't, Madam Mayor, when somebody's up here during public comments, interrupt them. Read Chapter 551 of the Government Code. This is public comment period, not Debbie Nash-King communist period. Okay? Mr. Boyd, you're not even supposed to be speaking during public comments. There's case law on this. This is public comments. You are not members of the public. None of you are. You're members of the city council. And I know you know this because I sent you the email with the case law on this issue. I noticed you're not trying to shut me up, but everyone else you were interrupting during their comments. You need to take a real deep look inside because each and every one of you are either the problem or you're enabling the problem. And the problem is you, Madam Mayor, and your tyrant Cagle there, who think that you can just lord over these people and do whatever you want without having to worry about consequences. The consequences are going to come, and it's going to be in the ballot box. And by the way, I saw your signs out there in open carry. Just want to let you know I am concealed carrying. People know I'm armed. So what? Doesn't change who I am. Doesn't make me more or less dangerous. Do you feel safer? Does it make you feel better? Because you go and tell people in the media, you see, we can't come and talk about these things if you get rid of public comments, the kinds of things that you're doing that aren't on the agenda. You want to determine what we care about, not us. And when somebody comes up here and they're speaking about something on the agenda, Madam Mayor, you don't get to tell them how they discuss their beliefs on an agenda item. You don't get to do that. I see y'all looking at the clock. I'll tell you what, I'm going to give you 27 seconds.
Thank you. Cameron Cochran. Councilmember Boyd.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, for acknowledging me. And I'm going to speak because I'm permitted to.
No, you're not.
I've got the right to do that. Point of order, I'm speaking.
You're not allowed to under 551 of the government code.
Mr. Cochran.
Dr. Cochran to you.
Mr. Cochran, he does have the
No, he
opportunity.
does not during public comments.
We're going to take a 5-minute break.
He does not. Not during public comments. Not during public comments. You can't discuss issues.
Why are you interrupting the meeting if you're here for the?
Why did you just interrupt me?
Because if you're trying to help the people, why are you interrupting this meeting?
Because they are not allowed to speak during public comments. The people are the public. The public are the people. They are not. They are not up there on the steps.
We don't come to hear you though.
We don't come to hear them either during public comments.
You had your time up there.
No, they cannot speak during public comments.
Please don't touch me.
Can y'all do me a favor? Just keep it to a normal conversational tone, please.
Listen, all I'm saying.
Look, I just want the law followed. Don't you want the law followed? Okay, then they can't talk during public comments.
Listen. I know that, but listen, you can't say you want the law followed, but then you come back here and break rules of the quorum.
I didn't break the rules of the quorum are unconstitutional.
You're making outbursts.
No, I'm making outbursts because they're breaking the law.
And you're doing the same thing.
I'm not breaking the law. I am informing them of what the law is. Chapter 551 of the government code says this is public comment period.
Public comment.
And they are not members of the public.
Action can be made on these items.
They can't discuss anything.
They can discuss whatever they want to.
No, look, okay, I'm done talking to you. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Just leave me alone. Leave me alone.
You need to learn things.
Leave me alone. I'm done talking to you. I'm done talking to you. I'm done talking to you.
They were done talking to you. You were talking, so I'm talking to you.
Well, I'll just ignore you then.
Let's keep it to a normal conversational tone, please. I understand that.
Just follow the law, City Council. That's all you got to do. Shut up. No. Just follow the law, City Council. You're only adding to it all. We're not in a meeting, buddy. We're not in a meeting. I can talk whatever I want, brother. I can talk whatever I want. What's that? Oh, I got it at the closing sales down there. Yeah. Or at the Army Navy surplus. Same place you got your honor.
Councilmember Boyd.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I just think it's important to reiterate that the impressions that are working to be made should be challenged and countered wisely. I will just say we have been very focused on moving the city forward and having and maintaining decorum in these meetings. I've heard about threats and racism and etiquette towards citizens. I have not witnessed that from my fellow council members. I'm telling my truth. And so I do not want the perception to be sustained that that is the case. We have new citizens here. We have folks that are watching that heard about this meeting, and I don't believe that impression should be sustained based on my experience as a council member here. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, Councilmember Boyd. Mayor Pro Tem Cobb.
Good evening, Mayor, council members, constituents. Happy New Year. I see we're starting the new year off. I don't know what laws that we're reading. However, it means a lot to be respectful at any given time. And why? And when we look at those comments and we look at the liberties that we've had to speak and say the things that we have, yes, we have those liberties. And I can see the television. I can see the council members, and I can see the dais, and everything looked mighty good to me. You've had an opportunity to speak your words time and time, again and again and again, no matter what it has been felt with. I have been in front of ethics committees over and over again. All mine were dismissals. We're doing the right thing. This is the right time to do the right thing. May not be accepting. You may not like it. But that's the way the road is going. When we constantly disrespect and say things, my goodness, when I go into a government building and the president's pictures on the wall, we have to be respectful.
Mayor Pro Tem.
And we're gonna be respectful of our mayor, of our council members,
Mayor Pro
and of
Tem,
me.
Mayor
It's
Pro Tem,
2024,
your time.
and I'm not taking
Silence
anymore.
her, Mike, if she's not gonna be quiet. Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. Your 1 minute is up. Madam Secretary, you can start the clock. 4 minutes.
You ready? Here we go. I pledge allegiance to the United States of America. I do not pledge allegiance to the mayor of Killeen. I swear to support and defend the Constitution of the United States as a military member. No, I did not swear to support and defend the mayor in case her feelings are hurt or her ego is bruised. The mayor and the city council members have taken an oath, just like I did, to accept the duties and responsibilities that are aligned with the positions they are sitting in within the dais. Those same people often forget the oath they took to protect free speech. Strange they want to take it away. That free speech requires them to listen to constituents on agenda items and non-agenda items. Make no doubt about it, tonight the council member, yes, the one over there looking down, who has 12 years experience, boy, he's a senior on this dais, will vote to remove your free speech. As noted, Councilman Segarra in the meeting recorded November 28, 2023, quote, "Anybody can come and talk to me, but if you disrespect me, I will not communicate with you. That's just how it works," end quote. What he's basically saying is, if you don't kiss my ass, sorry, I'm not helping you with any problems you might have. I don't care if you're a constituent or not. City Council, when you vote later tonight to remove my rights and everyone else's rights of discussion of non-agenda items, you remove the opportunity for someone to inform you about the problems they have within this community. I've tried the alternative method. My District 3 representative does not respond to emails. My District 3 representative does not respond to emails, nor my phone calls. It goes to voicemail. That alternative process does not work. How else am I supposed to communicate with you since the local newspaper doesn't print my letters to the editor, only horses' asses up front letters to the editor?
Point of order, we do not disrespect the
Let's
citizens.
move on. The council will certainly
will not
move
continue that
agenda items for
behavior.
discussion. This act,
That's
however,
your
will not
first
silence the
warning.
critics. Without free speech and open discussions of non-agenda items, the council members will take advantage and hide their alleged transgressions. Let's speak about those people the council member in the newspaper called disorderly. They are taxpayers. They are residents of Killeen. They are former military members who served with honor. They are spouses of those military members as well. They put a spotlight on the problems in the areas that may not be known to the general public. Because you're going to silence their voice, that's what's going to occur. Why is the city council so eager to shut them up and give them labels as troublemakers? These true American patriots are shining a light on the false testimony that I've heard over the couple of months here in the chambers. They often talk about the misuse of taxpayer funds. You never talk about misuse of taxpayer funds. It's us. We're pointing out your flaws and you don't like it. Shame on you, City Council. Shame on you, members of the public. It doesn't have to take an election year for this council to be misled and tell the voters, oh, they're picking on me. These events occurred last year and the year before and the year before. In December, the mayor quietly removed her Facebook page. You know, the Facebook page where she says she's the mayor and it's a government record. Yeah, that was illegally done. Efforts by the mayor to direct, yes, I say direct the local newspaper to ridicule people who speak out against her is probably because she has several broken promises and has spouted falsehoods. Going back to the audio recording, the mayor said, "That's my fault. It's a thing African Americans do. We have a tendency to gravitate towards one another.
Cochran, that is not on the
I will
agenda.
put a shield around all minority women and protect them," end quote. Meanwhile, back in 2023, a high school principal from Killeen Independent School
Mr.
District was
Cochran,
removed
your time is
for
up.
sending
Thank
a text
you.
message, but she stays in power.
Anka
Madam Mayor.
Nuga, I'm sorry, hold that, Ms. Anka. Yes.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. And to the citizens who are here for a civil meeting, I do apologize that I have to interject here and there. It's one thing to make attacks toward council members, elected officials, where we kind of assume that. But to make them towards our citizens sitting in this chamber or online is very disrespectful. And I want to be clear that that will not be tolerated. I do want to apologize that you experienced that. And this is one of the reasons why we need to put some controls on decorum. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Boyd. Councilmember Alvarez.
Thank you, Mayor. Well, I'm not an attorney, nor do I pretend to be one, but I do want to read directly from whitehouse.gov regarding free speech and the First Amendment, since we're talking about this here today. And there's a statement here that keeps ringing true as we're hearing all these comments. It says the categories of unprotected speech include obscenities, defamatory speech, false advertisements, true threats, fighting words, incitement, fraud, and the list goes on and on. So again, I want to reiterate that for the public is look up what free speech means as you're hearing these comments. Thank you.
Mayor Pro Tem.
You know what? I lost it a little, but I do want to go back in reference to being reported. And we're going to look at, I was just reported to the Ethics Committee because we come in and we talk about council members who are upbrook. The only thing I've ever done was been fair, I've been honest, I've been just, and I try to treat every man and woman fairly. And I have answered. I had to go back and look at my email. Dr. Cochran, I have answered your questions when they were related to city business. And so when we look at the Texas Ethics Committee, I just received a letter December 29th, note of dismissal, SC 323-12340. Dear Dr. Cochran, we received your complaint on December the 21st, 2023. This complaint does not comply with the legal requirements for a complaint filed with the Texas Ethics Commission.
No, Mayor Pro Tem, that is not on the... Your time is up, Mayor Pro Tem. Time is up. Mayor Pro Tem, your time, turn off her mic.
Yes, ma'am. I got it.
And like I said, this city, the city mayor, the city girl mayor, this and their council, it seems to be a plague in some of these towns that they hire their first super duper mayor that happens to be black and they run amok, and then the whole council is running amok. And if you don't know, what did end up happening at this council meeting is that they voted, I think it was 7-0, to take away public comment because the city girl mayor don't want to hear it no more. She's not answering emails. They don't answer phone calls. There's no way to address them about their problems. They delete their Facebook pages. And this is no different than up in the village of Dolan, up in Illinois. They're almost one and the same. And I think this seems to be a growing trend about it as well. And I just found another one, and I'll probably be making a video of the New Mexico mayor that did the same exact thing, that took away the public comment because guess what? They couldn't handle the public comment anymore. But you know what the deal is. Don't forget, hit that like, share, and that subscribe button. Make sure you go over to CJ Grisham's channel and make sure you subscribe. And I'm going to get out of here. Soloyaker, deuces.